Good evening, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone is having a great weekend. I know there's a lot going on right now with the fire that's happening in Medina County, and we'll talk about that. Ryan's going to talk about it as well tonight for the 10 o'clock news. Everything should go on schedule today. Even with basketball, looks like we should still be on at 10 o'clock. And so Ryan will have your latest with what's going on. But we are going to talk about the fires and also what we can expect as far as when we could see some relief with some rain, and also, you know, possibly some more humidity coming in that could also help with kind of put a little bit of some relief on fire situations, any type of fire activity. So right now, let's actually go straight to where we can see the fire. So this is showing with this red color. That's going to be the smoke. You can see this is measuring the thickest amount of smoke with the darker color. So obviously with this red and these deep red colors, this is showing that the smoke is very thick, and you can most likely see the smoke as the winds are going more towards the north. So the fire is spreading more northwards, and there are evacuations right now, those who live near the fire and more towards the path of where the wind is really pushing it more towards, which is more north of in Medina County. So you can see even places like Bandera and the city of Kerrville can probably also see some of those smoky conditions in the sky as well. So definitely that is something, if you live near the area, to, you know, plan that evacuation route. And there are already some mandatory evacuations that are going on. We have a story right now on our site at kens5.com, so you can read more about where they're having those evacuations right now. And we're going to be in a red flag warning for tomorrow. So there was one that ended tonight at 8 o'clock, but then there's another one that's going to be tomorrow, and that's everyone in this pink color. So San Antonio, Hondo, once again, Medina County, once again, for tomorrow morning, starting at 10 a.m. and into 8 p.m. That's when we're going to see, that's where that red flag warning is going to be in effect. And I'm just checking to see that if anybody's asking any questions. And we do have a chance of rain, so I'll talk about that in just a moment. And yeah, Bill is off today. He doesn't work on Saturdays, so we will have Ryan to come on, and he's going to be doing the 10 p.m. show. Now, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm one of the digital producers. I'm also one of their meteorologists, and I do a lot of the stories as well, a lot of the weather stories. As a meteorologist, I do a lot of the updates that are going on, especially during severe weather and things like that. And I enjoy coming on to talk about the weather here on Facebook Live. And we also have it on our app, so you can tune in there. But again, everybody in this pink color, y'all are going to be, again, in a red flag warning for tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Now, one reason why we are getting a lot of these fires is because the air is so dry right now. So San Antonio is actually in this brown color. Right now, San Antonio is at 27 degrees for dew point. And if you go out towards Hondo, they're at a 20. So that's closer to where those fire conditions are happening. That's one reason why. Look at Uvalde and Del Rio. They're in the teens right now. So they're dealing with some very dry air. When you have dry air, this is one reason we talk about the dew points and as well as the drought, because when we have this very dry air in place, fires are more likely to not only start but also spread because there's no moisture in the air. So once those fires start to ignite, it spreads much quicker. There's nothing to really kind of hold it down. And it is a little bit more humid as we get towards the coastline, but we are going to see some changes with that next chance of rain as we go into next week. So I'll go more into that in just a minute. But here are the winds right now. They're actually not too bad. The winds are at 7 miles per hour for San Antonio and also for Hondo. And again, in Medina County, they're still in the single digits as far as a very more constant wind speed. So that is some good news because we're not dealing with very strong gusty winds, but they could pick up again tomorrow. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. When you're in those red flag warnings, it's important to really just not smoke outside, not do any type of burning, because fires are more easily to ignite and to spread. So right now the winds they're not too gusty, so that's good. But it was very hot today. Take a look at these high temperatures. We are looking at a lot of 90s across the board. We have 98 degrees in Cotulla, 98 degrees in Pearsall, 94 in Hondo, and San Antonio, we were over 90 as well. We hit a high today of 91 degrees. So that is very much above normal for this time of year. Usually our average is at 76. So we're usually in that mid-70 range for March. But today we were in the 90s, and our record for today is actually 97. So not too far off from our record. Very, very hot conditions and very dry air is in place. Now a little bit closer to our area, you can see that their temperatures have already started to drop a little bit. We have Lackland is at 79 degrees. San Antonio is much cooler. If you're outside right now, it feels very nice. We're at 72. Helotes and Bernie, you're a little bit cooler in the upper 60s at 68 degrees. And Seguin, New Braunfels, you're as well into the back down into the mid 70s. But there's even some cooler temperatures as we get a little bit further south. Beeville and George West, they're at 70 degrees. In Victoria and closer to the coastline, they're actually in the mid 60s. So 66 degrees for them in Victoria and 66 degrees for Port Lavaca. Now, here's our drought monitor. You can see that over 80% of Texas is in a drought. So when we have these fires, this is one reason why, because we're in these very severe drought conditions. In fact, San Antonio, because we're in that orange color, that's classified as a severe drought, which is level 3 out of 5 categories on the drought monitor. So it's definitely not great. And there's a very small sliver of Bexar County just off towards the northwest that are in extreme drought. And so that's that red color there, just also covering Hondo, and where the fire is, they are in that extreme drought category. Now, just making sure nobody has any more questions. Yeah. Dominique says that he lived in San Diego for over a decade, and he went through many fires many times, so that he hopes it rains here. We definitely hope it rains here pretty soon, but the good news is that we are going to get some chances of rain next week. So here's what's going to be happening. We're going to put this into motion. This is for tomorrow night. We have a high pressure overhead, so that allows for the air to sink, and it's really hard to get a lot of those more thunderstorms to form, any type of shower activity. But as we put this into motion, we're going to go into Monday and Tuesday, and so that high pressure actually moves back off over Texas and more towards the east. And you can see we're going to have more of that upper level low that's going to start to swing in, and that's going to allow more lift and increase those chances of rain as we go into next week. So Tuesday and into Wednesday, you can see it's when it kind of sits just right in towards the center of Texas. And so San Antonio, we have a pretty good chance Tuesday night as we go into Wednesday as well to see those chances of rain. But temperatures are going to be warm until then, because if I back this up, we're going to stay in that high pressure. And so when we're in that high pressure as well, it also means that we're going to get temperatures very warm. In the summer, we get a lot of high pressures. They kind of just sit over us and don't really go anywhere. And that's why we get those temperatures to rise into the 90s and even triple digits. But because of the time of year, we should stay in the 80s. And so that's the good news. Now with this system, as we go into next week, it doesn't look like it's going to be as strong as the system that we had on Monday that brought those tornadoes across Texas. But we're going to just keep an eye on it and kind of fine tune the details as we get a little bit closer. But that's what we're looking at right now. And so that's going into Wednesday, and then by Thursday it starts to move. That upper level low starts to push off by Thursday evening. So here's our future cast to show how much rain we could get into Tuesday and Wednesday. As you can see, it starts this line of showers, so there is going to be again another chance to have more of a dry line start to come in, as well as another chance to get another front. And these fronts do not bring in the colder temperatures like what we've had. We're pretty much out of that category as far as colder weather, but it does bring chances of rain because we have our chances of our moisture to go back up. So right now it looks like it's bringing us a pretty good chance for San Antonio as well as further north, especially into Dallas. They could see some more rain as well. But we definitely do need it. Hopefully this is more widespread rain than what we had with these last storms. It was more of a narrow strip of rain and it moved very quickly. So it didn't really allow the soil to really get a good handle on any of those, on any water, and it didn't really give us a lot of rainfall, unfortunately. So hopefully this system that's coming Tuesday will give us a better chance and would be more scattered shower activity. So moves back out on Thursday and we'll have more sunny skies as we go into late next week. But here are your temperatures. So going to show you, this is Sunday morning. It's still going to be a little chilly. We're going to have temperatures in the 50s when you wake up tomorrow, but definitely starts to warm back up as you go into tomorrow evening. This is at 7:30. And you're going to see temperatures back into the mid 80s. And then as we go into Monday morning, again in the 50s, but warming back up, high of 85 degrees for Monday afternoon. And that's kind of going to be the pattern. We're going to see those temperatures. It's going to just pretty much stay in the 80s for the rest of the week. So as we go into your 7 days, here's where you can see more of those 80s for the next 7 days. There's that chance of rain Tuesday night into Wednesday. We're right now at around a 50% chance, which is still good. Hopefully that means a good amount of San Antonio could see some rainfall out of it, which we really need, and it could last into Wednesday morning. So right now, maybe for your morning commute, you could still see some showers, but right now we're keeping it at a 50% chance. And temperatures with this rain are going to lower just a couple of degrees. From 88 is what we're expecting for tomorrow, and it's going to cool down for Tuesday into Wednesday into an 83. So just cooling those temperatures down just a little bit. I'm just going to be looking at anybody's questions. If they have any questions. Devon says, how is next week looking? Next week looks pretty good. It looks warm, sunny skies, except for Tuesday night into Wednesday. That's when we could see those chances of rain. So if you have plans Tuesday night, you might want to maybe have a backup. And Cynthia asks, is the fire out? For the Medina fire, it doesn't look like it's out. That's something that it looks like crews are going to continue working throughout the night to get control of. And Diane asks if we're getting severe weather. It doesn't look right now like we will have any severe weather like what we had last week, so that's the good news. Hopefully this is just going to be more rain as well from what we had last week. We didn't really get anything too measurable in San Antonio. So other than that, it's looking very warm, very spring-like for the next 7 days. And if nobody has any other questions, hopefully everyone is staying safe out there. Keep an eye on our website because we do have updates we're going to be having with the fire, as well as tune in at 10 is when we'll also have some more information about the fire as well. And Ryan will be back on at 10 p.m. to do the weather for y'all. But other than that, hope everyone has a great rest of your Saturday and stay safe out there and have a great rest of your weekend.